Listen, Danny, I'm very excited about this month's Fashion Fix because you join us fresh from Copenhagen Fashion Week.
Yes.
What took you over there?
Fashion and style. And again,
Why
I
Copenhagen?
suppose because it's fresh, it's different, and it's brilliant when it comes to fuller figure and inclusivity. Their fashion shows are amazing. There was one, every shape, size, man, woman. They're very inclusive, and when it comes to size, they don't see a difference between fuller figure or someone that's petite. Everyone is catered for. And I suppose it's fresh, and I suppose as well it is something that is really in style at the moment when it comes to their philosophy, when it comes to clothes, sustainability. That's all coming in. And I think it's slightly, I'll be killed for this when London Fashion Week is starting tomorrow. I think they have fresher ideas. Like one of them that I had come across was unisexed or neutral gender clothes. And it cuts down on, I suppose, producing two different collections, one for a man, one for a woman. It sounds far-fetched, but it's becoming a reality slowly but surely. The likes of Zara have started gender neutral.
Yeah.
I'll trip over my words. They've even started now, but it's going to become mainstream. I don't know when you're going to see it in the high street here in Tralee or in Kerry, but it's on its way.
Clothes that would suit either
sex or whatever. You don't have to be putting other abbreviation. Keep it simple. Man or woman, that's what we are. You have a choice.
That said, though, I mean, aren't men and women completely different shapes, though?
They are, but if you go for something that's oversized, Deirdre, a man or a woman can wear that. It's certain styles that will suit the majority of people. I'm not saying men are going to be wearing wrap dresses, but again, a wrap dress would suit every shape. But it's getting maybe a trousers, like a tracksuit, for instance. Not one of my favourite items of clothing unless I'm going to the gym or for a walk. But that is something that can translate to a man or to a woman. But it's getting a design that is equally as good on both bodies.
Well, tell me a little bit about what colours and styles you saw in Copenhagen.
Now, I have to say with Copenhagen, you're talking about 6 to 9 months in advance. I was placing next autumn-winter orders with them. So I might hold back a small bit, but there is the likes of purple and royal blues that are in this season, a small bit of hints with it that are massive for next season. And again, the green is going nowhere. It isn't just for St. Patrick's Day anymore. It is a staple. Dare I say, it's becoming as popular as black and navy when it comes to colouring within fashion, within clothes, and even home furnishings as well.
Green is huge this year.
Green is massive, and we said it here a season or two ago. You can see it in the first thing people see in shops these days, green. And some people will go, "'Tis like the Easter eggs. Oh, you're ready for St. Patrick's." And I said, we've been ready for St. Patrick's for the last couple of years because green has been in. It isn't just, instead of saying, it isn't just for Christmas, it isn't just for St. Patrick's Day.
You've brought in a lot of green today, actually.
I did, and to show you the freshness, where before it might have been the khakis for autumn-winter, now we're going into the spring greens. But every shade of green is out there. Even when it comes to patterns, this is like, dare I say it, a floral.
Oh, that's a dress. I thought that was a top. It's a dress.
A top. Oh, sorry, a dress. But again, you'll see something similar in a top there as well. And it's just the way the materials are. They're not as starch as before. There's a better stretch to this. And you'll see that coming in all collections, every shop, bigger boutique, or from the petite ranges all the way up to the fuller figure, you'll see all this. Kind of stretchy material, which is lovely. It adds the bit of comfort and it falls lovely, drapes over the body very well as well.
Would you wear a belt with that dress now?
You could. This is one that you could bring it in if you have the hourglass figure, ideally. And again, what's lovely about this style is it has a drop waist, and that's brilliant, particularly if you have a high tummy. It'll cover it quite easy.
Covers the multitude. I'm spotting there on the rail, and just again to remind people, you'll be able to see all of these lovely pieces on our Facebook page later on tonight, hopefully. So apologies to anyone who's just listening on the radio. There's a gorgeous green blazer I see there, Danny. Talk us through that and who's that from. By the way, before you do that dress you just described, is that Vera Moda?
No, believe it or not, that's Anbury's in Tralee.
That's Anbury's, okay.
Again, a lot of people think Anbury's is just for an older woman. It's not. It's for everyone. We're inclusive. But again, the jacket, this is actually from Anbury's as well, now that you pick it out.
That's a gorgeous blazer.
But it's a trouser suit.
Wow.
Okay.
Now that is a statement trouser suit.
And again, this is by accident. You just picked it out. But what I'm going to say is you have your two pieces here, but the lovely floral print in this dress, you can always put it over it. And it just adds that bit of freshness to it. You could also add the black to it, or even a white, even a denim jacket. This would take you to a wedding, communion, confirmation. It's using what you have in the wardrobe, but principally that is a suit. And again, it's just a case of mixing and matching, but it's that lovely spring green.
Yeah. Would you call that an apple green?
No, it's a bit lighter than an apple, but it's not too far away from an apple green either.
It's a beautiful shade of green. And Danny, is that a trouser suit that you buy as a suit?
As a suit, yes.
You can't buy them separately?
No, you can't. But that company, if people really love the blazer, they'll let me buy it separate, but I have to order it specially in.
Okay.
But there will be other blazers that can be bought separate as well.
So do I take it that the blazer is still huge this season?
Massive, and getting bigger, because it's getting a bit more, dare I say it, a bit more dressy up, a bit more tapered, a bit more structured, rather than some of the more relaxed suits that we have been seeing in trouser suits. Okay,
well, we've loads more to look through on the rail this afternoon. We're going to take a quick break though, and I want to remind listeners that maybe you've an event coming up, like a wedding, confirmation, communion, whatever, and maybe a style question for Danny about your outfit on the day, or what to buy or where to buy it or whatever. Feel free to send in any questions you might have. Padraig's on the phones today on 066 7123 666. We'll talk more fashion in just a moment. Now, Danny has been telling us about his recent trip to Copenhagen for Fashion Week, and he's been telling us that green is huge, as it has been for a while. Blazers are big. We were talking about trouser suits there before the break. Trouser suits kind of come and go. Are they very much back in at the moment?
They're massive because they're so comfortable to wear. And again, you can split a suit up and create different looks from it. So it's value for money as well when you invest in a suit.
Yeah.
You know, it is.
What about the legs of a trouser suit though?
Again, it depends on. The one I showed you earlier, there is more of a tapered, more of a fitted leg, but you can also get wider legs. It's like a pair of jeans. You can get the trousers to match. And whenever you can, I would advise you, get the whole suit together, because if you get the jacket first and then trying to match your trousers, you'll never manage it.
No.
Because when they do up the dyes of the colour, at least you notice together. But if you do separate it, always wash the suit, the jacket and the trousers together, for fear there'd be a bit of a fade. That's the one health warning I give with it.
Okay, fair enough. Now show me what else you've brought in for us this month.
I have this lovely hot pink pleated dress.
Oh, that's lovely.
Again, wide sleeves are in. It's like the wide leg of a trouser. It's the same with sleeves this year. And again, you have the lovely ruching around the waistband, and the V-neck seem to be making a massive comeback, whether it is in a dress or whether it is in a top. But again, it's the colour I wanted to show you in this. You're going to see loads of it coming in dresses, in tops, as the season is going along. When I mean the season, I mean the spring, summer. Again, this would be ideal for a communion or for a wedding.
And that's a pleated skirt onto that dress.
Yeah.
I've seen a few pleated skirts on dresses now online when I've been looking at dresses recently. Is that a trend that's in again?
It is a trend that's in. It's going nowhere. Again, it's going back to the comfort.
But will that suit every shape? Because I always have the idea that if you've any bit of weight around the tummy or the backside, that something pleated is going to make you look big.
If you have what they call the continental shelf, the big backside. I know I'm coming out with the cinemas or whatever with it.
A continental shelf.
Continental
right,
shelf.
okay.
That's where the bum comes out a bit more than the back.
Okay.
Keep away from it, you're dead right.
Stay away from the pleats.
If you have a high tummy, keep away from it.
Okay.
But if you're more of a ruler, or believe it or not, an apple shape can be quite good as well.
Okay.
Can take it up. And again, this is a midi length, which is all in as well.
That's a lovely dress, Danny.
It is lovely and soft. And again, you can put your biker jacket over it if you wanted to go out at the weekend with the girls or meeting for lunch. And the patterns aren't going anywhere. And again, before we talked about the colour clashing, this time they're putting the purples with the greens. And again, this is a shorter one, a bit of a dip at the back. Some people might put a pair of 3/4 with this to drop it or to dress it down. But again, put your pair of tights with that.
Now, I want to describe that to the listeners because that is very patterned with purple and green, which aren't colours you'd necessarily put together. Might I suggest that now is a kind of a Marmite dress? You would either love it or hate it.
That is dead right. You're dead right, Deirdre. I want to show people all the different patterns that are out there. And I would put this down as one of the crazier ones.
But people will love that. A lot of people would love that.
But again, it's the hint as well I wanted to show you when you're going for something like this, because this will take you into autumn, winter with the opaque tights, the boots and stuff like that, and the leggings under it as well. But there is the bit of brown going on. There is a bit of the oatmeal going on. There the apple green, the lighter lime green. You have the darker apple green, as I said already. There's so many, and you've the hints of pink going on as well in places. So this is, as I say, one of those you'd either love it or hate it.
Perfect. Okay, show us something else, Danny. You've got such an array of colour. It's great to see all the colours, isn't it, after the dark winter?
Yeah, it gives us a bit of a lift, even though I always think even during the summer or during the winter, if you wear a bit of a colour, it just gives you a lift. And this year is no disappointment at all. There's another one we have here, and you can see the greens are coming out again.
That's a short dress, is it?
A short dress, yeah. And again, with these, you can always turn them. You can wear it to dress 1 minute, and then you can turn it into a kimono the next. Pick up on the colour here, which is navy cami, navy trousers, and you have another outfit, more casual. Add a piece of
with
jewellery.
The buttons open and a piece
with the buttons
of jewellery,
opened, and the belt tied backwards as well.
That is very nice. Where's that from?
This is from Vera Moda.
From Vera Moda. Quick question for you. We've a few more coming in now. A lady aged 60 wants to know if it's okay to wear a cerise pink linen trouser suit with a long jacket to a February wedding.
Yes. Again, the one health warning that I will give with it, if you're tall enough to do it and the two work well together, but yes, you can do it. And actually, I brought in a longer coat here in fuchsia with, say, a dress or whatever for your February, your March, and even going into the start of April. You can still wear something heavy with a bit of colour for spring, summer as well, especially the early part of it.
Yeah, the problem with weddings and even confirmations and that this time of year is that you might have a lovely outfit, but it's still chilly going in and out of the church, and even in the church sometimes.
But it is the church, and like that, when I say to people when they're looking for something to go over it, is it in a hotel or is it in a church? The church, you will have to have something heavy, because no matter how good the heating systems are in churches these days, you'll be still cold.
You will, absolutely. Yeah. Maura wants to ask you, can you get boot-cut trousers for trouser suits?
Yes, you will get a few. I suppose at the moment, with all the suppliers and manufacturers out there, there is not just one leg type in with trouser suits. You will get the boot cut. You'll see more of it, for, believe it or not, for autumn, winter. For summer, there are one or two collections that will be having them, yes.
Now, Marie has a question for you. You'll have to listen carefully to this now. It's because she's describing herself. She's 70 years old, 5'2" and over 10 stone. She's invited to a wedding in April and is wondering if you've any ideas for what she might wear. So if she's 10 stone, she's 5'2". I'm trying to visualise that. So she's probably carrying a little bit of weight, maybe. And I don't mean that in any bad way before someone gives out to me. She told me herself that's what she weighs. So she's 70. What would suit her? 5'2", so she's not the tallest.
She would be what I'd consider petite. And what would I go for petite? I'd go for a length like this, where there's a bit of a cape on over it. And again, it's not going to swamp her when it's on. And this is, I know you're going to say, she's over 70, why go the hot curl? It depends, even if she has a dark hair colour, or even if she's gone like myself, the light grey would be ideal.
Hold on a second. I think Pat just said into my ear that she just texted in to say that was a mistake. She's actually in her 30s, or is that a different person? Same person, yeah. So she's not 70.
Okay.
Sorry, Mary, but it did. What was in front of me, it said you were 70.
No
so
problem.
Okay, but either way, she could wear that.
It would be still quite good. And again,
it's lovely coral colour.
Yes.
Yeah.
The shorter dresses as well that are there, even though they'll be short on a taller person, they would be maybe more in proportion for a shorter person as well. Maybe below the knee. Just depending, but also weight has nothing to do with fashion. It's more of a person's shape is more important when referring to clothes. It doesn't matter if you're 5 stone or whether you're 25 stone. It is really on a person's shape.
Yeah, it's where you carry it, really,
yes.
and how you carry it.
Yes.
We've a lady who has a communion in May and is wondering what colour would she wear. Well, I suppose the difficulty with that is that you could suggest a colour and it might make her look washed out because not everyone can wear every colour.
Exactly. It would be your, like I've said before, it would be more on your eye colour would really depend, and your hair colour and skin tone as well. Like getting back there to the hot curl, if you had black hair, this would be ideal. But if you were a pasty skin, I would tell you keep away from it. That would be more for a sallow skin, would suit a lot better as well. Particularly if you had brown eyes, that curl and hot pink would be just fabulous.
Danny, I have to tell you, and I'm not surprised, there's not a lot of love for gender-neutral clothes coming in from our listeners.
Don't knock it till you've tried it.
Yeah.
But it is just, do you know, I suppose it is a signal as well, and I'll be probably killed for saying this. It is saying maybe man and woman are equal, rather than going, do you know, with the pay gap in genders as well. Do you know, that could be a nod to that. Sometimes fashion can be subtle in their messages. Sorry.
Phil was in touch and Phil says, no. There's a lot of zeros in that, or a lot of O's in that. No gender neutral clothes. I've heard it all now, says Phil. Another text says, gender neutral clothes will never become a reality. What a load of something that begins with B. And Tom, I love this. Tom says, regarding gender neutral clothes, Deirdre and Danny, it's true what the old people joked about 50 years ago. You will have to turn a person upside down soon to discover whether they're male or female. I'm not sure what to say to that, really, Danny. Maybe we'll move on to another question. Texter says, will you ask Danny, does a midi dress suit someone who's 5'2"?
Yes, it depends on where it cuts down. The midi could end up by looking like a maxi dress on you, and it would depend on your shape if it would look good. But if you want to experiment, by all means, try them on and see how you get on.
Okay.
You know, don't rule them out because of size.
Okay.
Or the height of someone. Sorry.
We've also had a caller in to ask you if you happen to know if the chain Evans, the clothing chain, if they are still trading.
No, they're not.
They're gone, are they?
They are. But I've hot news for you. Guineas last week got in some of the Evanses' clothes, and also some of the Wallace clothes, and also some of the Topshop clothes at reduced prices in their store here in Tralee at the moment.
Okay.
Just that someone has mentioned it, Evans is gone, both here in Ireland and online as well, on thing.
Yeah, a lot of what we call the high street chain stores are gone in recent years. Is it online trading that has signalled the death knell for them, I wonder?
There is a number of factors that are into play here. The online would be one part of it, but the major part is some of these clothes chains expanded too fast, and we're going into every corner of Ireland and going into every corner of England, and I think that's what cost them the money. And they weren't looking at the stores that were making the profit and non-profit. And they were too, what's the word I'm going to use? There were too many stores, what's the word? Where there were too many too close together. It wasn't being special enough. Now, a couple of the online companies did buy some of the Evanses on. I'm not too sure if they've gone into production yet, to answer the question.
Okay. Danny, before you go, there's just one or two things that caught my eye there on the clothes rail, and just bearing in mind that people will want to see on the video later on tonight. You brought in keeping with our theme of green, you brought in a fabulous green pleather jacket.
Lovely.
I mean, who wouldn't love that? That'd be lovely on Pat Kelly now, wouldn't it?
He's the right colouring for it.
He'd love it, he says.
He'd love it, yeah. We're getting thumbs up there in the producer's booth.
I'll tell you, I would wear that in a heartbeat. I love the fact that it's a real statement jacket, isn't it?
It is, and you can wear it with trousers, jeans, dresses, you name it.
Yeah, but don't wear it if you're going to rob the bank or do a bit of shoplifting.
No, because you'll be well noticed. Yeah, well noticed.
And you told me that comes in a different colour as well.
It comes in a lovely hot pink as well. It's almost a bit hotter than the coat here.
Yeah.
But it's gorgeous. And again,
would you call that a biker jacket?
Yeah, biker style is what I'd call it. And they tend to be a small bit smaller than other jackets, so if you do fit it on, don't think you've put on weight. It is the style of the jacket.
Yeah, very good.
Do you know?
Could you wear a jacket like that over like a statement jacket like that over a dress for a communion or confirmation?
Oh, perfect, you can. Because it's dressy, but it's not overkill, and it's nice and relaxed. And an item like that is, dare I say it, a wardrobe hero, because you can pull it out and use it again and again. I would say communion, confirmation, and it gives that bit of warmth as well, which is important.
That's from Amber's as well, isn't
it?
No,
that's
Vera
from
Moda.
Vera Moda.
Okay. Did I see what looked like a denim jacket or a denim shirt before we finish up?
Again, that's another one, particularly with some of the greens that are coming out. It would just blend in nicely and give it a lovely pop of colour. Even though they say blue and green should never be seen except in an Irish colleen. Sure, we're Irish and it does work well together. I don't care what anyone says.
Exactly.
But it would go with your dresses, your trousers, your three-quarters. It's one of those, again, everyone should have them in their wardrobe.
Very good. A couple of wardrobe staples.
And that's from Pamela Scott's as well.
Excellent. Danny, we better let you go. Thank you for going all the way to Copenhagen to report back to talk
lovely.
about.
You can send me again. You can send me to London Fashion Week. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, I'd have to go with you, I think.
Oh, of course.
Keep
yes.
an eye on you.
Yeah.
Danny, thanks a million for
You're
that.
You're more than welcome.
We will look forward to looking at the video later on tonight, which will be on the Talk About and the Radio Kerry Facebook pages. If any of you want to check out any of the styles Danny spoke about, maybe your appetite was whetted by some of the clothes we're enthusing about,